If a Stoic from ancient Rome woke up tomorrow in 2025, surrounded by smartphones, crypto charts, TikTok ads promising instant riches, and influencers flexing cars and vacations, how would he react? Would he rush to open a trading account, buy the latest gadget, and start chasing likes? He would observe, he would study, and he would quietly smile. Because the world has changed, but human nature has not. And the same principles that built unshakable wealth 2,000 years ago still work today. Wealth is not about the brand on your clothes or the logo on your car. It's about freedom. It's about the ability to live as you wish without being enslaved by debt, status anxiety, or the constant need to impress strangers. In 2025, the noise is louder than ever. Everyone wants to sell you something, a dream, an image, a shortcut. A Stoic knows that the path to real wealth is not paved with flashing lights but with habits, discipline, and an understanding of what truly matters. Seneca once said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." If you believe you need every new thing to be happy, you will always be poor, even if your bank account is full. In today's world, that means ignoring the temptation to measure your worth by likes, followers, or expensive toys. The Stoic begins by defining wealth in his own terms. For most people, wealth equals luxury. For the Stoic, wealth equals autonomy. It means you don't need to ask permission to live life on your own terms. So, how would the Stoics build wealth in 2025? First, they would live well below their means. Not because they fear spending, but because they see the trap in overconsumption. The flashy lifestyle creates dependency on high income, on constant hustle, on things outside your control. Epictetus would remind us, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Lower your wants, and you instantly raise your wealth without earning a single extra dollar. Imagine someone earning $5,000 a month but living on $3,000. In 2 years, they have saved enough to take control of their life. Compare that to someone earning $10,000 a month but spending $12,000 trying to look rich. They are a slave to appearances. The Stoic chooses the first path. In 2025, the temptation is constant. The latest phone, the hottest trend, the fear of missing out. But the Stoic trains himself to pause before every purchase and ask, do I need this, or do I just want to be seen with it? The second step the Stoics would take is to invest in things that endure. In their time, this might have been land, ships, or education. Today, it could be index funds, real estate, or building a skill that will pay you for decades. The Stoic ignores the daily noise of markets. He knows that wealth grows quietly in the background while he lives his life. He doesn't chase every hot stock tip or cryptocurrency pump. Instead, he sets a long-term plan and sticks to it, no matter what the headlines say. Third, they would master their mind before mastering money. You can give a fool a fortune, and he will find a way to lose it. You can give a disciplined man a modest income, and he will grow it into freedom. This is why the Stoics place self-control at the center of wealth. They train themselves to delay gratification, to resist impulse, to think in decades instead of days. In 2025, that might mean ignoring the urge to upgrade every year, resisting the dopamine hit of online shopping, and keeping their lifestyle steady even when their income rises. Fourth, they would understand the difference between income and wealth. Income is what you earn. Wealth is what you keep. The Stoic knows that someone earning less but saving and investing more is actually richer than someone with a higher paycheck but higher expenses. They would track their money like a philosopher tracks his thoughts, with clarity, discipline, and honesty. Fifth, they would choose simplicity over complexity. The modern world is full of wealth hacks, complex schemes, trading strategies, and over-engineered investments. The Stoic knows that complexity is often a disguise for risk. They would keep their finances clear, their investments understandable, and their goals simple: grow steadily, avoid loss, and stay free. Sixth, they would avoid comparing themselves to others. This is perhaps the hardest part in 2025, when social media constantly shows you curated highlight reels of other people's lives. The Stoic reminds himself, if you compare yourself to the rich, you will feel poor. Compare yourself to the poor, and you will realize you have enough. True wealth is not measured by having more than others, but by needing less from them. Seventh, they would build wealth quietly. No need to post bank balances, car keys, or luxury trips online. In fact, the Stoic sees danger in advertising his wealth. It invites envy, theft, and distraction. Instead, they live in such a way that even close friends may not realize how wealthy they are until decades later. Eighth, they would remember that money is a tool, not a master. A tool is meant to serve you, not chain you. The Stoic uses money to buy time, to create space for study, travel, and service to others. They refuse to be so obsessed with earning more that they forget to live now. Ninth, they would guard against lifestyle inflation. Every raise, every bonus, every extra dollar would not be an excuse to upgrade their life immediately. Instead, they would invest the difference, building a future where work becomes optional. 10th, they would cultivate gratitude for what they already have. Gratitude turns enough into plenty. Without it, no amount of money will satisfy. In 2025, with consumer culture telling you that you are always one purchase away from happiness, gratitude is a radical act. 11th, they would focus on what they can control. Inflation, market crashes, political instability, these are beyond their power. But saving, investing, learning, and living modestly are within it. As Marcus Aurelius would remind us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. 12th, they would give before they feel ready. Generosity keeps wealth from owning you. It reminds you that money is not the ultimate goal, virtue is. Finally, they would remember that the true purpose of building wealth is to live a good life. To have the freedom to spend time with loved ones, to pursue wisdom, to act according to your principles without fear of financial ruin. This is why a Stoic in 2025 would never chase wealth for its own sake. They would build it quietly, wisely, and without flashiness. And when others look at them in 20 years and wonder how they achieved such freedom, the answer will be simple: they mastered themselves first, and the money followed.